Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we got an interesting repair video. This customer wants to do a induction cleaning on his vehicle. So we're going to be running seafoam through the intake to clean up any carbon deposits. And I'm going to show you guys the steps and processes that I use to do that here in the shop. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Smash that like button because it helps channel out. With that said, let's go ahead and get started on today's video. Before we go ahead and begin the process, I want to show you guys a few tools that I'm going to be using because it's going to be a little bit different the way that I do it versus how you would do it at home. Now, I have this professional intake vacuum tool. Basically, you fill up the product in here, whatever liquid you're going to be running through your intake, hook this up to a vacuum port that goes inside the intake manifold, and then basically it's like an IV drip. You can control how much fluid goes in there. Now, as far as the product goes, I'm using this. Now, this is basically my part supplier Seafoam. I'm not gonna say they're exactly the same, but the bottles, everything are identical. So that's why I'm calling this video how to seafoam your vehicle. It's gonna be the same exact process. The chemical that I'm using is very similar to it. I just find I have great results with this. Now, when you're buying seafoam at the parts store, you may find a few variations. They got the cans like this, then they have a little spray can with a nozzle that has like a little tube that goes inside your intake manifold. If you're using that method, it's gonna be similar to this, except you're manually spraying it in there, so you're gonna have to, finely adjust it. The whole point of this is not to take this product and just dump it all in while the engine is running. What you're gonna want to do is slowly control how much of it gets in there so it can thoroughly clean and get the carbon buildup off. So now that I showed you guys my setup, we're going to go ahead and set this up on the car. And this may vary depending on which method you're using. I'm going to try to find a link for something similar to this if you guys want to have the actual tool. But without this, the way I've done it in the past is just hook up a vacuum hose or something to your intake manifold, maybe a little funnel, and then just pour a little bit at a time. But you got to be very careful, because if you were to take this and dump it all in there, you could hydrolock your motor and cause a bunch of issues. So this is definitely something you want to be very careful with if you do attempt it. So my setup on this, the way I like to do it is I'll open up my vacuum tool here that's going to disperse my cleaning supply here, which is going to be an item identical or similar to Seafoam. There's a lot of these products out there. Just Seafoam was the more wide known one. That's why I mentioned that in the video now. Honestly, this product, it may be outsourced and made by Seafoam, but they put a different label on it. I'm not exactly sure, but the bottle, everything is very similar. So I'm going to take my product and we are going to go ahead and fill up our can. Now we are at the vehicle. What I'm going to do is take my setup here. I always like hanging this on the hood prop. Just kind of leave it out of the way like that. Kind of hangs in there just like an IV would, just to give you guys the best example. Now that we're looking at the engine, in order to be able to feed the product to my engine, I need a good vacuum source. Now, every vehicle is going to be different. If you're particularly doing it on this Toyota RAV4, there's going to be a vacuum line right here. It goes to the brake booster, and that's where I'm going to hook it up to. If your car still has power brakes and they run a vacuum line to them, that's usually the easiest source. I try to do it at the part where it's farthest away from the booster. You don't want to hook it up to the line where the booster is. You'll find a lot of videos say hook it up to that source. But I like going a little bit further down. Now, on this Toyota, they got a rubber hose with a hard line and then a rubber hose that feeds the intake. So I'm a far bit away from the vacuum booster. And the main reason is, let's say this puddles up, doesn't go anywhere. You hook up your vacuum line to the booster and somehow you get this product in your vacuum booster. You don't want to destroy it. So that is my setup. I will zoom the camera out here. We have it all hooked up. Now the next step is to start the vehicle and start getting the product worked in there. It's going to get a little loud here in the next clip because I'm going to turn on the car. Be advised that you shouldn't do this to a cold engine. This car has been idling for a little bit, so the engine is semi-warm, not hot, but warm. And the main reason is that you want to have a warm intake temperature, so that way when this product goes in there, it can start flash steaming, because the whole point of using this, once it gets into the intake, and it's hot, it flash steams the whole intake manifold, and when it makes its way inside the piston, the whole theory is that it'll flash steam the chamber under heat. So now we're gonna go to the car and just turn on the vehicle. Let me get this thing started. So to zoom you guys in, you guys can hear it suctioning. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna control how much of the product gets in here. Kind of like an IV, you wanna set it up to where you get a little drip, because the whole point of this is to make this stretch out for a good half hour to an hour that you want this product to run in there consistently. So right there we have it set up at a drip. I got a nice consistent flow. What I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna explain this process because it's gonna be loud, so I can't really show it to you, but I'm gonna let it drip like this while it's idling for about a minute or two. And then what I'm gonna do is go inside the vehicle and run the engine at 2000 RPMs just to work up the engine speed. And I'm gonna run it that way until the product has gone through the whole system. Now, when you're doing this, you wanna be very careful. Make sure that your product doesn't run too fast. Remember, you're not trying to flood out your motor, you're just trying to run this in there to clean it. So just to clarify with you guys and show you the process, we have ran this. It took about 30 to 40 minutes. We ran through the whole product. The engine is idling up. I currently have it at 2000 RPM. Now that we have everything ran through, I'm just gonna continue to run this thing for a little bit longer, and I'll be right back with you guys. So now that we ran our product through, I went ahead and I removed my tool. I put my vacuum line back on and got the clamp on it, pretty much buttoned up our engine. And we turned off the vehicle, and now we're gonna let it sit. The reason why you wanna let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes is that product, you want to let it dwell and break down any carbon. And what we're going to be doing after this, which I'm probably not going to be filming, is I'm going to take the car out on a test drive or take it out of the parking lot and rev it up to try to get all that carbon buildup out. Now be very mindful that this thing will smoke like crazy. When you're burning a product like this cleaner through the intake, it will make a lot of thick white smoke. I may rev it up here in the shop just to show you guys in the video how bad it can smoke. It'll pretty much fumigate a shop if you do it indoors. So make sure when you're doing this, you're doing it outdoors. You got a lot of ventilation, because if you're doing it in the enclosed garage and you start it up, you could potentially run into some issues. So be very mindful of that. Now I'm gonna let this thing sit here for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna come back, start it up, and start revving it up and just working the product through the engine, making sure it all gets burned out and none remains in it. While we let the vehicle wait, I thought I would just brush up on a few points here, because I'm sure there's going to be a few questions. And the main question I feel people might have is, why do you want to do this to your vehicle? Well, in the next couple clips, I'll show you why, but I'll explain why here really quickly while we're waiting. The reason why you want to do this is more modern cars today are prone to carbon buildup, and that carbon can potentially, create issues. It's actually very important on a direct injection engine to do some sort of servicing or cleaning. Now, there's not a lot of products out there that can really thoroughly clean it up, but at least doing something like this every few thousand miles, if you have a direct injection engine, will help slow down the buildup. However, there will come a point in time where you'll have to clean it out with some sort of media blasting. In the case of this vehicle here, I just noticed that it had a lot of carbon on it when I pulled one of the spark plugs out when it initially came in. I noticed that it had a lot of stuff on there, and then the customer was asking me if it was a good idea, and I told them, listen, worst case scenario, you run a product through, it cleans out as much as it can. It's not going to clean everything 100%, but at least you can get a lot of buildup out of there. And I'm like, at the end of the day, we're not really hurting it. Now, this car came in here because it had a misfire, and the customer noticed that there was some carbon coming out of the exhaust. He initially wanted this done, but was a little hesitant because he was unsure. But I told him, if we're going to be doing the spark plugs and you want to do the service, there's no better time. I don't like running this type of product with fresh spark plugs in it. So I told them, let's get it in the shop. We're gonna go ahead and do the treatment, and then after we run through the treatment, we're gonna go ahead and replace all the spark plugs, and you're pretty much tuned up and you got as much carbon buildup as you can get, at least on an economical scale. Because honestly, I don't really charge too much for the service. I just basically bill out a couple tenths of labor and whatever the cost of the product that I'm using is. So all in all, I mean, this is pretty much under $100 to do this here at a shop professionally. I know a lot of you may say, wow, that's a lot of money. But you gotta remember, I'm a shop. I have to build my time. All in all, this process, I have about maybe 15 to 20 minutes of my time involved into it. So I typically will bill out a half hour plus, parts or product, I should say in this case. So that's just kind of the idea behind this and why this customer does this. Because I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are skeptical, saying this doesn't get all of it out, still leave stuff in there, and I completely agree. This is not a end to all means, but anything that be preventative, as long as it's not intrusive, it's gonna hurt the motor, will definitely help it. And that's the whole premise behind this. So before everyone goes in the comments and says this doesn't do anything or modern engines aren't susceptible to this helping them out or anything like that, again guys, we're going for our best foot forward here. I do realize that this sort of cleaning is highly debatable, and it doesn't get a lot of stuff out, but it's preventative. It helps break down a lot of things. Doesn't get them all out, but I'll show you here in the next couple clips of what we're able to get out. As you guys can see, the seafoam stuff, it tends to make a lot of smoke. Even though I have my exhaust tube, I still got a bunch of smoke that came all throughout my shop. You guys can see it's pretty hazy. So do this in a well ventilated area. Now I have performed the service, and before we go into the next clip where I outline everything, I just wanted to show everyone that when you do a system cleaner like this, look at all the stuff that came out of the exhaust. Even though I had my exhaust hose on there, so much water condensation and buildup in carbon came out when we were revving it that a lot of it blew out here on the floor. So this is the stuff that we're after. That's a bunch of carbon buildup that we were able to successfully clean out from the intake and the engine, which tells me that this service was effective. That's the whole point of doing this. Normally you're not going to get really dark carbon buildup water like that through your exhaust unless you do some method of cleaning like we did. I just want to reiterate, because the engine was running and I don't know how well the audio picked it up. So I hooked up my vacuum source with my cleaner. I went ahead and stepped up the idle. It suctioned through at a nice rate. Took about 30 to 40 minutes for all the product to work through the engine. Now, what a lot of people on YouTube do, and from the past videos that I've seen regarding this, they say that you're supposed to dump a whole bunch in there and cause the engine to cut off. Don't do that, guys. Here's the thing. In those videos where they say go ahead and put a lot of product until the engine cuts out, and then they say let it sit for 10-15 minutes, you're actually putting so much liquid inside the engine that you're hydrolocking it. That's why it tends to cut off. So you don't want to do that. The way I like to do it is after the product runs through nice and slow, let the engine run for about 5 minutes or so after, and then simply turn it off. Now, after you turn off your engine, you're going to let it sit about 10-15 minutes, because that product has to basically, saturate everything and break down the carbon. And then after the car has sat for a little bit, that's when you want to start it up and rev it up. Now, you're going to get a lot of smoke. I don't know if you guys can see in the background, my shop has a little bit of smoke filled with it. I even covered a clip there where I was showing it. Even though I have an exhaust hose hooked up to it, it still tends to get a little smoky. Now, I didn't want to film the whole process of me waiting on the car to, soften up all the carbon buildup. So I already went ahead and I did that. But the appropriate steps are basically hook up your product, run it through nice and slow. After you ran through the product, turn the vehicle off and let it sit for a couple minutes. After the vehicle has sat for a couple minutes, start it back up, and what you want to do is take it out for a drive and give it some nice acceleration, or if you'd like, rev it up in a parking lot. Make sure you're in an open area. Be careful, because there's a lot of white smoke that comes out after using a product like this. A lot of people might call the fire department thinking your car's on fire, so just be very, very careful, because I do this at the shop, and I remember when I first opened up here and I started doing this, I remember I had the fire department called out here once. My neighbors thought I was up in smoke or a car caught fire. So just be very, very mindful when doing this. Now, that's how you do a induction service, is what I call it here at the shop. Basically cleaning up your whole intake manifold and everything like that. Now, I do go a step further. I also clean off the throttle body, and in this video I'm not going to be covering that. I just wanted to cover the basic steps of how to seafoam your car or run a product through your intake manifold. So with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe because it definitely helps the channel grow. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.